So all this current administration has to offer is that they're not Trump. If you voted for Biden simply as a vote against Trump, then congratulations, you got your wish. And not much else, apparently. Every time they make a huge blunder, all they're capable of doing is reminding you that at least they're not Trump. Bringing Trump's name up in every situation when he's not in office. At what point are they going to be accountable for the decisions they make in running this country? At what point are they going to say, since we are in office, what can we do for the American people without bringing up Trump? They bring up their biggest achievement every time they mess things up, which is they got Trump out. So there you have it. That's all we have to gain from this current administration. They're not Trump.
Yes, welcome back. Trump is trending on Twitter. If you realize it has reached a certain level and people are realizing what is going on, every single thing, they will always put the blame on him. I did a similar video like this concerning Joy Behar.
She's been Secretary of Transportation for 2 years now. How long can you blame the Trump administration for all your failures?
Let me say this. I will take responsibility for how I do my job. It is time for the Trump administration alumni to take responsibility for their deregulation and join us in calling for us all as a country to reverse course.
Okay, well, why don't you just reverse course, Brett? I'm not. I'm just a Twitter guy.
Yes, like you have seen him here, he did not end his response without blaming Trump.
Two questions. First of all, the president frequently visits the sites of many natural and man-made disasters, and this situation in East Palestine has clearly required a multi-agency response from the federal and the state level. So I guess I'm just struggling to understand why the president wouldn't go to East Palestine. Does it simply not meet the bar for a presidential visit?
Look, I want to be very clear here. There's no reason to struggle, I don't think, on this question. I think when you look at how the federal agencies have responded from day one and took this very seriously. Peter.
Can I just ask you again, following up on East Palestine, can you at least, I know you can't say that the president has plans to go there now, but is it in discussion that the president may go there in the near future?
I just don't have anything to share. I know there's a lot of interest on that.
I mean, I guess the question for folks there, though, at least to say it's in discussion, has it been something that's even under consideration?
I mean, I think what folks should understand and what folks should, I think, feel at ease is that the president has taken.
Joy Behar says the residents of East Palestine got what they deserve because they voted for Trump. For the record, this is 100x worse than anything Don Lemon said. Will she be kicked off her show? Fire Joy Behar is trending on Twitter as I'm speaking. A lot of people are angry, even people who never even voted for Trump. They are not happy with the phrase. You can't be taking a serious situation like this. You are politicizing it.
Lay down regulations for a second, because it seems to me that the Republicans are obsessed with this notion of the free market, and they don't like a lot of regulations.
Because it means profit. When you deregulate, you get profit.
But I know.
Part of deregulation,
for example, there were very few plane crashes. Thank God. And that's because the industry is highly regulated. We have to pay for regulations and safety standards. Otherwise, where are we? We're all going to go up in flames.
Norfolk Southern gives as much to Democrats as Republicans. It's a very powerful lobby that is trying to block regulation. And this train, to Sarah's point, 2 miles long with 2 full-time employees and a trainee on it. This
and
is
they didn't even need to, because the last administration rolled it down to only one worker. They happened to have 2.
One thing I just want to say is I do think this was an unforced error by President Biden. It was 20 days before we had Secretary Buttigieg go down, 10 days before he put out a statement acknowledging it. This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him, for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety, he did in those days.
Showed up at McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need.
Yeah, but they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo op.
Showing up is a big
showing up.
We have seen the number of animals that have died. We have seen how people are suffering. That should be the focus of discussion, not politics. At times, I keep aside my political views. I like to look at things the right way. That is how it should be. At this crucial moment where I should be seeing how people are appreciating those that are going to support, bringing their help, contributions, to aid what is going on, but instead it has been politicized. And this has always been a main issue with this commentator.
This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
When you allow companies to not be good corporate citizens and grade themselves, they give themselves an A every single time, just like I would. Grade myself, I get an A.
Yeah.
And these people are going to suffer because of those things that happen. I'm not only saying, though, that Trump did it. I know that the Obama administration could have been better about climate change and chemicals. I think the Clinton administration could have been better. But I thought we saw a real shift when it came to deregulation and the Trump administration.
Well,
If this issue actually ended without us hearing this, I would say the mainstream media has greatly changed. The struggle to even point Barack Obama administration, then bringing issue of climate change. Joe is there. Under his administration, I believe he could be the first person to appear there to look into what is happening, because they have been singing this issue of climate like a song. I don't even want to go details into what is going on. Now you see they just struggle to bring up this kind of argument. Even MMBC, they have pointed fingers at Joe administration because they are actually lack of what they can do to pin this on the former president.
Yeah. You mentioned a national political figure who's decided to get involved. It sounds like you're talking about Trump, and then you said, I need your help. How can he help?
Well, one thing he could do is express support for reversing the deregulation that happened on his watch. I heard him say he had nothing to do with it, even though it was in his administration. So if he had nothing to do with it, and they did it in his administration against his will, maybe he could come out and say that he supports us moving in a different direction. We're not afraid to own our policies when it comes to raising the bar on regulation. And I've got to think that him indicating that this is something that everybody, no matter how much you disagree on politics and presidential campaigns, can get behind. Higher fines, tougher